I was taught to be a man. Stand on my 2 feet just like a man. Take all of my losses like a man. Nigga saying fake the fake just like a man. Like a man. I stand up. Like a man. I man up. Like a man. I stand up. Like a man. I man up. Like a man. I stand up. Like a man up. Like a man. I stand up. Like a man. Unicorns. I was washing cars trying to blow. Take a loss, get up and shake it off and water whip the coat. No shoe showing, no not who's it to your face. I let you know. Treat a queen like a queen and a hoe.
Well, back again. We're riding and vibing with Black. Got Black here.
How y'all doing?
Today is going to be different. Today we're doing an exclusive interview with the mastermind to this whole Riding and Vibing with Black and Grow Folks vibe. We gotta see the man behind it all. I'm gonna introduce you, my brother, everything. Here goes Black.
I appreciate that. I like how you put those in steps. How y'all doing? My name is Black. I go by Black, but they call me Dante, Poo Poo, whatever. I just want to say thank you so much for doing this interview. I had a few people that asked me, ask me why I don't speak as much, and they want to know who I am. But I always felt like I wanted to hear someone else talk. Now that might sound selfish, but I know me and you talked about it, and we came up with this thing right here. So I'm honored, and I thank you so much.
No problem. Anytime. Where can we start?
Go. I'm an open book. Go ahead.
Open book. I got you. First, I'm going to introduce myself. Of course, my name is Shaylin. They call me Big Red. I'm dressed the way I'm dressed because I need to be comfortable in doing this right here, because we're going to get to the bottom of a lot of stuff. So, first I'm going to give you a little history of how I know Black, and then we're going to go from there. I met Black 4.5 years ago. We used to work at a company together, and I seen Black through, even though it was a short period of time, I seen him grow, and I seen him in different lights in a couple of years, in my years working with him. Altogether, I see him to be a very, very mature person, very professional, a great leader. I feel that in a way he's a trendsetter. That's how I feel. I always see Black dressed to the T.
That's right.
As he is right now. Always riding nice. Even at work, you know what to expect from Black every day. And a lot of people ask this question: how do you keep your cool so easily?
You know what? I really don't. Well, I can't say that. I want to say I always been like a calm person, and again, I'm not confrontational, so I know how I feel to be disrespected, and I also understand the way I look at it is you never know what someone's going through. So even if you have wronged me or said something disrespectful, a lot of times I bite my tongue because I don't know what you're going through. It's kind of sort of like me being a bigger person, and I understand I got a lot to lose. I'm a single father, so if I lose my cool and I just say, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna retaliate or whatever, who's gonna take care of my daughter? You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I think about in the midst of me losing my cool. So with that being said, I learned how to stay calm and be cool.
Okay, I can see you as being reserved as well. Of course, when we're in a professional setting or whatever at work, I understand you have to be reserved, and I understand that we have to be professional.
Mhm.
But outside of work, I do know you outside of work as well. So why are you like why do you feel like being in a reserved position keeps you in a comfort zone? Because I noticed that reservedness is you're in your comfort zone.
That's a good question. But it's kind of hard to explain it because I don't know. It always been me, you know. Even when I never been that guy, as far as being, you know, they say I'm flashy because the car or whatever, but I never been the guy that like, let's say if I know an answer, been the first one to say, hey, I know what's going on, I know the answer. I kind of like to hear people's opinions, and actually I just had a conversation with somebody about that. But not to get off topic, it's kind of hard to explain. It's just me, it's just in me, you know, it's just really in me.
Okay, let's start on your family life. How important is family to you?
Family mean a lot to me.
Okay, it means a lot.
It do.
Let's start with your childhood. Could you explain to me how your childhood was and how many sisters and brothers and stuff you had?
My upbringing. I have 2 brothers and a younger sister, so a total of 4 of us.
Mm-hmm.
Me being the oldest. My upbringing. My mother was there. You know, she was always there. I had a stepfather. My father, as they'll call it, he wasn't there. I knew where he was, but he wasn't there. I had a stepfather. So it was a typical family, man, you know. My mother was loving, caring, you know, but she was on drugs back in the day. Of course, my stepfather, he was also, but he was, my parents were the type of parents, they was, what's the word when you able to work? You gotta have it, but you still able to work. I can't think of the word.
I know it's yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So with that being said, yes, my mother was there, and I also had a stepfather.
Were you the youngest? No, I think you're the oldest, right?
Yes.
Okay.
The oldest.
Alright, who else comes after you?
My brother, the one who passed.
Can you explain to me how you guys' relationship works?
I wouldn't say we was close. We was close, but not as well. I wasn't close to my brother, the one who passed, as if my baby brother and the one who was the one who passed or whatever. We didn't really have a close bond. That don't take away the fact that I love my brothers and my sisters. It was just, I cannot put this. We was close, but it wasn't to the point of us people noticing, you know, for us outside looking in, they knew we was brothers. But I was kind of distant. I always been the one that been distant towards family.
Okay, you've been distant. What about your next brother?
My baby brother.
Yeah, Albert.
I said the same thing, you know, it's one of them things where, you know, okay, check this out then. I had an issue with my father, right? My 2 brothers, they were close to my dad or whatever. But as long as I really couldn't understand why they were so close to him. Because in my head, he wasn't a father to me. So where does love come from them? And I understood they accepted the fact that he was on drugs, he wasn't there, and they love them for that. But I think because of that, it kind of maybe pushed me back from them.
Mm-hmm.
If that
Makes
just
a lot
makes
of
sense. Okay.
What about your baby sister? How are you guys' relationship?
We always had a good relationship, you know. Growing up, she was a baby girl, so we all was very protective over her. But as we got older, you know, as I started becoming the man I am, when I say I distance myself from everybody. As far as my brother, my sister, my aunts, even my mother at one point.
Okay. So I'm just making an observation. Is it okay? I see that you don't really show affection. Everybody that I ask you about, these are close members that I'm asking about. Your older brother and Albert.
My middle brother.
Oh, sorry.
It's cool. It's cool. It's cool.
Okay. Okay. So you felt you felt that your stepfather wasn't a father figure. So you weren't accepted over the position that he took.
Well, I would say my stepfather, he was the type of guy. He was a man, first of all. My stepfather, he did 25 years in prison.
Mm-hmm.
He came out and he made sure we had what we had.
Mm-hmm.
But far as spending that quality time with us, I don't remember it. Now, I did know he was more closer to my sister than the boys. And I also learned that on down the line, he had two daughters that lived in Augusta. So my stepfather was the type of dude, he paid the bill. He made sure the bill was paid. But you also got to understand, he was like 25 years older than my mom. You feel what I'm saying? So I seen him get up and go to work, come home, pay bills. But it was never, hey, let's go out and play baseball. Let's do this. And not taking away from that. Because if he wasn't in our life, ain't no telling where we'll be at today. But it was to the point where, as I got older, I only seen him as a bill payer. If that make any sense?
Makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Like I said before, kids interpret love with time. They don't care about you paying the bills. They don't care about you buying clothes. They interpret love with time. So okay. So do you feel that that's the reason why you kept yourself away from your brothers to be close?
Well, I wouldn't say that, you know, us growing up together, we was close, but as we got up to the teens, we kind of chose different paths. And what I mean by that, you know, when we found out about the weed, you know, I was never a weed smoker. And nothing against people who smoke weed. But you know, my brother, they started smoking the weed, and that was cool and all, but I went a different path. So, meaning, they homeboys smoke weed. I got homeboys that smoke weed, but I kind of distanced myself from that at a young age because I felt like it would be an issue for me. I had just started working and things like that.
How did you feel as a young boy seeing the environment that you was in with your mom? Was she a house mom? Did she stay on? Is she more?
In some ways she was, but I also remember her working also. So she was kind of both.
Was she hands on with you guys? Or
Yeah.
She's very hands on.
Yes.
Okay. So questions about. Okay, so did you feel like you could have talked to her? How did you have other people, relatives that you can actually talk to? Maybe get a couple of things off your chest on how you felt about your stepfather.
Yeah, my mother, you know, like my mother was my best friend, you know, even up to the day she passed away, you know, I can talk to her about anything, you know. So again, my stepfather, he wasn't bad, but again, as I got older and I had my own daughter, I didn't see my stepfather, you know, taking the boys out playing ball, teaching us things like that. I only seen him paying bills.
Mm-hmm.
So for a long time, I thought that was a man. That's the only thing. But I never seen my stepfather show my mother love. Not saying he didn't love her. So that's what I seen as a youngin'. But as I got older, I looked at things a little different.
Okay, so how's your relationship after your mom died, after your brother died? How did you release that hurt? What did you do to cope, and what was your coping mechanism?
Believe it or not, I have not released it.
Why?
I don't know. I ask myself that question almost every day. I didn't cry, and not saying because I'm trying to be hard or tough, but even losing my mom, I didn't cry.
But you said she was your best friend.
She was, and still is. But I don't know, I think it's something with me. I really don't know because, don't get me wrong, I felt the pain. I felt hurt. I'm still hurt behind it. But as far as, it's like I'm numb to it. Even losing my brother, it's like when we went to the funeral, it wasn't a drive in the house besides myself. And that's a question I can't answer.
But how do you feel like, I'm not saying like, listen, I understand that it hurts, I understand that. But how could you tell me, okay, love, what's your definition of love?
Love is action.
Definitely it is, but you gotta tell
Love
me.
Love is not hurting. It's the opposite. Love is, my definition of love, someone who's caring for you, letting you know if you're wrong, they letting you know you're wrong, even though if you disagree with it. Being there for a person. There's a simple calling you, hey, how you doing? You all right? You need anything? You telling me something, and you trusting in me to keep your secret. If I'm feeling a certain type of way, in a way it bothers you, I always having my back.
That's a lot of those things that you're saying can be interpreted in love, but they really fall towards a friendship. Now that's where I was going with this. You're saying that you never really was, you don't know why you wasn't close with your your two brothers, but then you just explained to me what love is, but you actually answered what friendship is. So what made you feel, because in another conversation you and I had off the air, you were saying, you had asked your brother, do you feel a certain way because I wasn't closer to you than my other brother that passed away? So did you guys have a bond where you guys talked about things, talked about growing pains? When I say growing pains, I mean in day-to-day life. Oh yeah, I like this girl. Oh yeah, I like this girl. Oh yeah, I like them sneakers. Oh, when I get older, this is what we gonna do or whatever.
No, we never had them type of conversation.
Why?
Just never had it.
You're the oldest.
I am.
You're the oldest. So I know being the oldest, girl. So being the oldest, it's kind of like you're got a lot of responsibilities, but still you got your little brothers or little sisters looking up to you. So then you have to be a role model for them.
Well, look at it this way, and this might sound weird.
Mm-hmm.
The type of love that I have, I show it, but I don't show it. What I mean by that, I'm gonna start with my mother. My mother was my best friend. I love my mother to death, but I never told her I love her. And in the midst of it, she never told us she loved us, but we knew it. The first time I can remember me telling my mom that I love her, when she was the week she got out of the hospital before she passed, and they had on breathing
Respirator?
Yeah, they had on there. And I told her I love her. But we wasn't brought up in a household where, now we call our mother by our nickname, which is Pet. Now some people might feel like they're disrespectful, but we was brought up that way to call her Pet. You feel what I'm saying? And she wasn't disrespectful. She didn't feel it was disrespectful, but we wasn't the hugging type. Like, I don't remember her hugging me or my brothers, us, or her kissing us on the cheek. But we knew she loved us. And what's crazy about that, even with my own daughter, I don't hug my daughter every day. And I know outside looking in, I get it all the time. Black, you're a good father, you're a great father. I do feel like I am, but I don't tell my daughter I love her every day. I don't kiss on the cheek every day. But in a way, she know that. You know, I show it with my action, but I just don't say it as much. I don't know if this making sense.
It makes a lot of sense. Black, usually when, quote unquote, we get it out the mud, that's the saying that everybody is saying now, meaning when you get it up out the mud, you come from nothing to something. Right. So, what I noticed in my experience with not having certain things, or parents or relatives or things like that, I noticed that because I didn't have it, I show my son what I didn't have. Now, what I am going to tell you with having a daughter that you're not really emotional, to me, it, on the outside looking in, it seems like you're not emotionally in there. It looks like I'm saying it could see, I'm not saying it is. It seems like you guys interact as more as best friends. And it always should be a distinction between father and daughter. It is very important for a father to show his daughter affection. Because guess where she's gonna find it at if you don't provide it for her.
Right,
for a man. Yes, you don't have to hug her every day, but you make it a routine at least twice a week or something. Hey baby, you look nice, or baby, you look beautiful, give me a hug, give daddy a hug, or whatever. Show her that this is how a man is supposed. I've seen you do it. You open the door for her, car door. I've seen you do it. You are an excellent father. But I think, this is my opinion, like I said again, I think you should open up the doors for affection. And you also have to get comfortable with it yourself. You know, we attract different, we attract the opposite of what we are.
I agree.
And I think that affects you in your relationships as well. Because some females want affection from you.
I agree.
You know,
I ain't gonna just say some of them. The ones I have. Well, let me backtrack right quick.
Mm-hmm.
With my daughter, me and my daughter got a weird relationship, man. Like, man, when I tell you, like, we can sit up almost hours, sit up and join each other. You know, she'll take me out, I take her out. I'm not the hugging type, but my daughter do hair. She just did her hair this morning, and I told her, baby girl, your hair look good, you know. And I tell her she's beautiful all the time. You know, but when it comes to, and I don't want to put blame on no one, but I guess it was my upbringing as far as me not hearing I love you. I have told my daughter I love her, you know, but it's more as she get older, you know. It's like one of them things when, you know, when a child get old enough, they don't sit on your knee. You feel what I'm saying? So, me and my daughter, we do have a great relationship, and she know I love her. But again, what you say, it is important to tell her that, hey, give her a hug, give her a kiss. But I'm not that passionate type as far as that. But it plays a different part on just the overlooking myself, and that's something I'm working on.
It's the first thing of change is identifying the problem.
I agree.
So you already I know that you're gonna go further, and I'm here for you for support. Okay, so the next question. So, Mr. Black.
Yes, ma'am.
We always have these talks in our other shows or whatever about what can a woman heal a broken man? Can a man heal a broken woman? We had topics about what is a real man, what's a real woman, how can you have a one night stand? Can you have a long relationship after one night stand? All of those topics are epic. They're great. But why those topics? To me, hearing the topics and the stuff that we discuss, why is relationships so important to you? Or keeping a relationship, maintaining a relationship so important?
Well, before I explain that, it'll be more of why I started the channel. And you gotta understand, I am human. I'm a man. I have made mistakes. But I look at it for me in the old relationship that I was in, you know, me dating a young lady for 10 years and not marrying her, the things that I did, the things that she did, the things that I went through, the things that she went through. For a minute, I felt like I was the problem, you know, because again, go back, I never seen my mother and my stepfather show love to each other. Again, not saying they didn't love each other. I never seen that. So, and I know I might get off topic, but it goes back to me growing up, me having low self-esteem, you know, me not knowing how to approach one, me not being comfortable with who I was in my own skin. So as I got older and started feeling myself out, you know, started gaining a little momentum, I started dating, but in my head, I looked at women for only one reason.
What was that reason?
Because this is what I saw. You gotta understand. We seen the music video, you know, the D-boys in the neighborhood. I seen, you know, the things they had, how they treated women, how my father treated my mother, me not seeing that love. So I looked at women like a piece of meat. So with that being said, from failure relationship, like with my daughter, mother, you know, feeling that the other young lady. And I'm like, you know, and you gotta understand, I was a prideful person. And I'm like, how can I get the answers that I need? Is it me? Is it the choice of woman that I'm picking? And me coming up with, I'm like, you know what? And not to get off topic, the young lady who I just recently broke up with, we supposed to started a podcast together. And it supposed to been like a couple podcasts. But it went left and I ended up doing it on my own. So it was more of, I wanted to know how other people felt about different relationships. Like, you know, from a man's point of view, where he went wrong with, if it matched where I went wrong with. If a woman would she admit her faults? Because the women I dated, they never admitted their faults. So we started the podcast, I kind of got some answers, but also on the flip side, I want to share my story too, because I'm not the type to tell what goes on in my life. So it was a little bit of receiving and giving.
I got it. Okay, let me comment on a couple of things that you said. What I learned in a relationship, we are what we attract. Okay, so our body language says a lot about ourselves. Okay, so you walk around, and this is a good thing, okay, because confidence is half of the battle.
Think so?
Yes,
Yeah.
confidence. Okay, I don't care. I'm gonna say it to us big ladies. What a man is gonna see about us first is our happiness, our confidence level first, and then they'll look everywhere else. So I think it goes the same way with the male. Okay, you always professional, you like that. I think your metrosexual vibe. When I mean metrosexual, I mean your dress wear, because they have that GQ magazine. Okay, well, I ain't saying that, but you're flashy. You come off to seem like you spend a lot of money on your clothes, which you do, and then it matches your ride. Then the confidence that you walk around with. So of course you're gonna have those females. Oh, he got money, so I'm gonna get him. Oh yeah, he got a ride. Oh, he got money, so then yeah, I'm gonna go see what he about. So you're gonna attract a certain type of female that's selfish, self-centered, because of the appearance that you give, the way you're speaking, the way your body language. So you're gonna attract people, a female of that genre. Like, you're gonna attract. That's just my opinion. You're not. You might get a few people that kind of see through that, but you're not gonna get a good. You're not gonna get a good selection.
Well, I gotta be honest. The GQ thing wasn't always, it was a thing that, again, growing up, I seen the D-boys dress nice cars. Let's admit it. Dark skin was not in 20 years ago. I'll be honest with you, So it was all with the light skinned guy with the good hair and all that. So me coming up, my thing was, if I dress nice, get a nice ride, they're gonna bring me the girls, because again, I ain't had the confidence that I needed. But as I got older, I'm like, do you want that type of woman? Do you want the type of woman that's gonna love you for what you have and what you can give her? And I'm gonna be honest, I dated women like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I also dated some good women who loved me for who I was.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a little bit of both worlds.
Okay, so then let's elaborate on that. So when did you identify that those women were good?
Well, it wasn't many. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't many. But one young lady I dated, when I met her, I didn't have nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Again, when I met her, I was living with my sister on her floor. Didn't have a car.
Mm-hmm.
I was making $7.25, and we met. I told her what was going on, and she accepted it. And she got the crazy part about it. Me and this young lady dated almost 10 years now. We had small issues.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna get into,
Mm-hmm.
but one thing that stood out with her, she never asked me for a dime. Within the 10 years we ever dated, she never asked me for nothing. And that's how I knew it was possible that women can actually love a man for who he was.
That's good too. So let's see if you can kind of, change it up. I'm not saying trade your card in and get a Ford Equinox or nothing, a Chevy Equinox. I'm not saying that. I'm saying scale back and see what you attract, or try to build a friendship relationship, not excluding sex. Because what we gotta also understand that when we involve sex in a relationship, quote unquote, situationship, what's the new words from situationships, friends with benefits, whatever, you take away the friendship.
I agree.
So let's say if we start to just develop and encounter new people as friends, don't look at the person for the looks, because I'm gonna tell you about looks, okay? Looks fade away with time.
I agree.
And especially when you get happy and you're happy with a friend or a
Get
girl.
that heavy weight on.
Get that heavy weight on.
Alright.
Goes for women and men.
Thank you.
And now we got the quarantine. So quarantine put 75 pounds on some of us. Okay, so my next question is, what are your priorities in life?
Alright, now before I answer that,
Okay.
let me kind of dive in what you said. Now, with me, you gotta understand, I got into building cars at a young age.
Okay.
And even now, I'm still into cars.
Mhm.
The cars don't define me. And what I mean by that is, coming up, okay, let's say it this way. Don't get me wrong, I used to fix my cars up the way I liked it, but I knew women were gonna like them. But I was just always into cars. And I knew the bonus was women gonna like them type of cars. But as of now, I think I can safely say, I think, like when I meet a woman, a lot of times she don't know what type of car I drive, you know, unless I add on my social media. So when I meet a woman and we get to talking, things like that, she don't know where I stay at. You know, we talk about the basics, she don't know the car, she see that on down the line. And I think I'm a pretty good judgment when it comes to women. I can see the woman looking for me to take care of her. So with now, even now the clothes, I just got into this dressing like that. I promise you, I just got into dressing like this, and I just feel like I'm 36, so in 4 more years I'll be 40. I don't want to be dressing like I'm 19, 20,
Mature.
things like that. So I had to step it up, which in the beginning I was kind of iffy about it, but once I tried it, I liked it. I just, you know,
Kept it up.
I did.
Okay. So getting back to the creator of this and all this entities, you know, you brought other people in or whatever. What's important to you? What are your goals? And where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Believe it or not, if you would have asked me about this podcast a year ago, I would have said you were lying. I had a mind. Oh man, this might sound crazy. I never really seen myself really doing nothing. I was just going with the flow. And I got this thing saying I don't want to never be rich. I just want to be comfortable. But with doing this podcast and meeting new people and meeting people with vision, I'm talking to them. They saying, you know what, Deacon, you can do this. You know, you can do this. You can do this type of stuff. So just to skip over some. The next 5 years, I want to own my own business dealing with cars. I want to call out. I'm praying to the man upstairs that this podcast get bigger than what it is. You know, someone got me believing right now I might have a whole studio doing this. You feel what I'm saying? So,